Hello, this is Bill Floor, Vice President for Public Forum Debate for the Washington-Arlington Catholic Forensic League. This video is intended to train people to judge public forum debate. You will notice that I have changed the title from judge to official to better represent the scope of volunteers' responsibilities. The responsibility of a volunteer at a public forum debate tournament is not simply judging and determining winners and losers, it is also assisting us in running a smooth and timely tournament. I have listed here 10 duties of an official, and I will go over them in greater detail on future slides, but just as an overview. Number one, when you get to the tournament, you need to make sure that students with whom you're associated know their codes. That is, they need to know how they are being identified by tab room. Be ready and aware for the start of each round. Number three, take a schematic to each round so you will know who is supposed to be there and what they are supposed to be doing. 4, make sure that you have the right debaters debating on their assigned sides. Monitor behavior during the round. Start the round promptly. Fill out the ballot before and during the round. Keep track of the times of speeches and prep time during the round. Determine a winner and assign points, and return the ballots to the tab room immediately after the round. The first duty we have listed is to make sure that the students with whom you're associated know their codes. This will be a new thing we'll be doing this year. We will be posting the form that you're looking at now, which basically is a list of contestants and their codes. They'll be posted before the first round is posted, and all of the students should go and look at these and make sure that they know what their code is. Their code will typically be the name of the school followed by the first initials of the last name of each of the members of the team. However, there have been situations with schools that have multiple teams that have the same initials, and there has been some confusion because of that. So I would advise each student to find their initials, their code, and make sure they know how they are going to be identified on the schematics as we move along. And if you are monitoring your students, please make sure that they have done that. The next item was being ready and aware for the start of each round and take a schematic to each round. Being ready means that you are in the judge's lounge and you know when people from the tab room have come in and basically hollered that they are posting round 1, round 2, whatever, of public forum. And then you need to go to the wall and look at the schematics and find out if you will be judging. And you'll do that. Here you will notice that we have a list of the teams in the affirmative, negative, what room they're going to be in, and the judge. You'll also notice that we have 2 flights. This is the first round, so that first round has 2 debates in it. So this particular judge here is going to be debating this team and this team in Flight A and this team in Flight B. Since we have 4 rounds, we could have as many as 8 debates assigned to any individual judge. So this particular judge, though, knows that they have to go to room 405. They will take a schematic from the tab room table up to the room with them so they can identify the students that are going to be in that round. The next on the list was to make sure that you have the right debaters debating on their assigned sides. So once you arrive in the room, identify what debaters are in there by asking them who they are, and make sure that for example, if you were this judge, that you have the Langley ZD team on the affirmative or the pro side debating the Broad Run LS team on the con or the negative side. It's very important that the sides be accurate and that the teams are debating the team that they are assigned to debate. We have had situations where we have had teams that have been confused and end up debating one side more than twice in a day or even assigned to debate the same team. So it's very important when you get into the round that the right people are doing the right thing. And you do that by checking the schematic. The next item on the list was monitoring behavior during the round. There are three areas of monitoring that you need to keep an eye on. Furniture is probably where we have the most difficulty because it's the most common. When debaters come into a round, they will typically move the desks so that they are in a configuration that is conducive to debate. It is very important at the end of the round, though, that the debaters put the furniture back the way it was, so that when the teacher arrives the next day, they have the classroom the way they want the classroom. And this should be done at the end of each round, not just at the end of the day, because at the end of each round, the judge at least should know what the furniture looked like when they walked into the room. Sometimes you will have an audience, and it's important that the audience not be talking during the debate or distracting the debaters or coaching the debaters in any way either. So there should be no communication between the debaters and any person in the audience. If there's been anything left behind, like a water bottle or some scrap paper, that should be cleaned up and put in the trash can. The next on the list was to make sure that you have the right debaters debating on their assigned sides. So once you arrive in the room, um, identify what debaters are in there by asking them who they are, and make sure that, for example, if you were this judge, that you have the Langley ZD team on the affirmative or the pro side debating the Broad Run LS team on the con or the negative side. It's very important that the sides be accurate and that the teams are debating the team that they are assigned to debate. We have had situations where we have had teams that have been confused and end up debating one side more than twice in a day or even assigned to debate the same team. So it's very important when you get into the round that the right people are doing the right thing. And you do that by checking the schematic. The next item on the list was monitoring behavior during the round. There are three areas of monitoring that you need to keep an eye on. Furniture is probably where we have the most difficulty because it's the most common. When debaters come into a round, they will typically move the desks so that they are in a configuration that is conducive to debate. It is very important at the end of the round, though, that the debaters put the furniture back the way it was, so that when the teacher arrives the next day, they have the classroom the way they want the classroom. And this should be done at the end of each round, not just at the end of the day, because at the end of each round, the judge at least should know what the furniture looked like when they walked into the room. Sometimes you will have an audience, and it's important that the audience not be talking during the debate or distracting the debaters or coaching the debaters in any way either. So there should be no communication between the debaters and any person in the audience. If there's been anything left behind, like a water bottle or some scrap paper, that should be cleaned up and put in the trash can. Rounds need to be started on time. If they are not, the entire tournament can be set back. So make sure that you get to your assigned room quickly, and that once you're there, you urge the debaters to enter the room and get ready. Set up your material, ballots, paper, timer, pens, or whatever you have with you, so that you both are ready to go. I would suggest also that you take a ballot and hand it to each of the debaters and have them fill out their side. It'll give you the opportunity then to look at it and make sure that the right debater is on the right side, and it will also save you some time from having to pause and fill out the top portion of the ballot yourself. The ballot should be filled out by the time the round finishes. So getting the right teams on the correct side is important. And that's going to look something like this. This is a copy of our ballot. And so you should have the pro team on this side. The code will include the name of the school and the two initials. And you can compare that to the schematic to make sure that the right person is in the right place. There should be a first debater and a second debater, and the debater should fill those in as well. You need to put your school name here and your name up here. You don't really have a code, but your name. And then at the end of the round, you'll be signing the ballot as well. In addition, you want to put in the round, room, and date, and that all goes up here. So if you are starting the day and you're starting the first round, it's going to be round 1, and if you're double flighted, it will be 1A, the room you are in, and the date. This can help us when these ballots come back to the tab room if we find an error and need to hunt people down and make sure that we know what was going on in the round as well. I want you to find the times on the ballots, and those appear here. And this gives you what speech is being delivered and how long it is supposed to be. You as the judge need to keep track of those times and give signals to the debaters at each minute and then with 30 seconds to go as well, so that they know how much time they have to work with. In addition, you'll notice that the prep time of 2 minutes per team is listed over here. They can take prep time anytime between speeches. And so if the one on the con team says that they want 30 seconds of prep time, start your clock and keep track. And if they finish in 30 seconds, that's great. Find somewhere either on the ballot here or on the paper you're using to track the debate, a place where you can keep track of how much time each side has. There are 2 people on each side, but each side gets only 2 minutes. So 4 minutes total prep time for the entire debate. I would track the debate and fill out comments on the ballot during the debate. So if we go back to the ballot, you'll notice that you can fill in comments to the debaters here. My suggestion is that for each debater you have at least one thing that they do well and one thing that they can improve upon. I know that many people go beyond that, and that is fine, but for beginning judges, I think that that's a good thing to shoot for. Find something good that they're doing and something that you would like to see improved upon. After the team leaves, assign points and note the winner on the ballot. So we'll come back to the ballot here, and once they leave, you'll put the school and code in here, and so it'll be a school name, 2 letters. You'll circle the side they were on and sign the ballot. Now, if we go down here, is a place for reason for decision. So you should have a reason that you decided to debate that way. Write that out in 1 or 2 sentences. You should be finished with this ballot no more than 3 minutes after the team leaves the room. And it should be ready to come back to the tab room, although you don't take it back to the tab room until both flights in the round are completed. Tracking the debate is something that I'll show you what I do. You may have a better idea. The coach for your team may have a better idea. But I'll typically have two sheets of paper divided into 6 columns each. I'll have the pro case on one side, and then what the con said about it, what the pro said about it, con, etc. And then the con case on the other sheet of paper, etc. And that will help me understand what went on in the debate, and that should help me render a decision. Um, Once you have both ballots filled out, go immediately back to the tab room and hand them in. You need to wait for somebody at the tab table to review the ballot and make sure that all the information we need is on it. And once that is done, return to the judge's lounge. Now, that's quite a bit of work for a fairly short period of time. And the day can be long. You do a lot of work, and it's a lot of hard work, and we and the students really appreciate you doing that. I believe that there are 4 great truths of debate officiating. Truth number 1, the decision in a debate is subjective. 2 equally qualified judges may decide rounds differently. I have been on judge panels in out rounds any number of times and ended up in the minority. So to think that there is a correct answer is incorrect if you are the judge. What you believe, who you believe the winner is the winner. And as long as you justify it, that really is all there is needed. I do not believe I have ever seen a tab room override a judge's decision unless there was a disqualification involved. So you need to have you need to have the confidence to decide who's going to win the round and explain briefly why you believe that way, and you're done. Your first time out, no first time judge believes that they know what they're doing at all. It can be quite frightening. I would just take a couple of deep breaths. If you find yourself at a loss during a round, ask a debater. They're typically very helpful. They want nothing but the best in those rounds either. Another thing to rest assured of is that no debater has ever suffered physical injury because of a judge's decision. No one will die if you decide against them. And then finally, no debater has ever lost a round without blaming the judge. So regardless of what you do in the round, somebody's probably going to blame you, and that is life. Nonetheless, it's a wonderful activity, and you should enjoy it a great deal. And finally, again, thank you for officiating and taking the time to watch this video. We have a valuable activity here for students. We need volunteers. I certainly hope that this video has been helpful, and I look forward to seeing you at the next tournament. Thank you.